Hello everybody. Here we are again playing the campaign game, the Castlevania quest Belmont's Curse for D&D Castle Ravenloft. I played the first quest several times and it was really tough until I realized that I had actually misread the rules, because I thought you gain gold when you kill a monster, which is correct. But you also draw a treasure, which I didn't do. And of course, if you don't draw a treasure, you're pretty much going to die very, very soon. So I finally managed to beat the first quest this morning. I did reduce the number of available monsters by 4. But still, it was very tough and very close. And I ended with no healing surges left. I had one experience point card left from killing monsters, because I had exchanged all of the other ones for removing encounter cards. But I did beat the kobold and I did beat the vampire, so I decided to give myself 5 experience points for each one of them. So I was able to buy myself 2 level ups. So I've leveled up Alyssa. She's now level 2. She's a human ranger. She's now level 2. Now, in this campaign game, you do not gain additional abilities as you level to level 2. And now we are between quests, or we're between campaign play. And you have to, they tell you that if you are not level 3, you should not attempt the second part of the campaign. Instead, you should try and go on a side quest. And I rolled the Rescue the Child quest. You awake to find a note that has been slid under your door, asking you to come to the green cottage at the end of the row. After breakfast, you knock on the door. An old woman answers and invites you in. She offers you coffee and then tells you that her grandson, Cavan, has gone missing. She suspects that he was taken into a nearby mansion, and she offers you 2 gold coins, all that she can afford, if you will return her grandson. Still feeling guilty about failing to save the Belmont child, you agree to help her and you set off to the nearby mansion. You find a small opening to the south side of the mansion and you enter the darkness. The goal is to find the elderly woman's grandson and escape from the mansion with him, so we actually have to make our way out again. Then you can find different there are 4 different possibilities. You could end up fighting the kobold sorcerer, the howling hag, the werewolf, or the zombie dragon. So you have to roll, and I rolled a 9, so I got the howling hag. So I've put her aside, and I've also put out the arcane circle tile. We've placed the star tile on the table. We have placed each hero on a square adjacent to the stairway on the star tile. All of the treasure that you see, well, you can't see it, but everyone has at least 1 treasure card, was treasure that was retained from the last adventure. Special rules: the number of healing surges your party is given at the beginning of the quest, as well as when tiles are drawn from the monster stack, depends on which town you received your quest from. We were in Algebra, which means we get 2 healing surges, and last time I actually used 3 because you got 1 through the fountain. And whenever we draw a tile from the monster stack, whenever a dungeon tile with a black arrow is drawn. So each time you place a monster on a tile, if possible, the first monster you place should be a monster from the monster cards you set aside during setup. Okay, so I set aside the ghouls. Whenever a player draws a named tile, he must immediately read the corresponding exploration event and place monsters according to the monster placement rules for the town the quest is performed in. Let me just check one thing. 2, 4, 5... 6, 7, 8. So we put this here. Then we have how many? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. Yeah. Okay. When a hero is adjacent, this villain activates at the start of each villain's player phase. Place the cavern token on any square on the tile. When a hero is adjacent to the cavern token at the start of his hero phase, he can lead cavern through the dungeon. At the end of that hero's phase, place the cavern token in any square adjacent to the hero. The heroes win the adventure when cavern is on the start tile. Okay. So let's get started. I'm not going to play with a monster stack this time. I'm just going to draw monsters normally when I get a black arrow. Okay, so again, we explore, or do they have anything in addition? Or maybe we should use a monster stack. We will just do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14 tiles. So we would have 11, 17, 19. Oh, I had too few the last time. Well, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So, yeah. So the first 3 monsters that we're going to place will be the ghouls, which we set aside as well, as per the instructions on for this particular quest. So it shouldn't be too big a problem at all. Okay, so let's get started. Thorgrim is going to go first, and he is going to explore. So he spends 2 points. So he's now spent 3 movement points. And like so. So we draw 1 monster stack tile, and we get 3 monsters to begin with, and those are all ghouls. So he gets the ghoul card. And then we give a ghoul card to each one, I suppose. Let's check if this is really how it's supposed to be played. Well, I suppose because we have yeah. So he's now going to activate them. And if the ghoul is within 1 tile of a hero, it moves adjacent to the closest hero and attacks with a paralyzing claw. 1, 2, 3. So they're going to attack our Dragonborn. For 13, that's a hit. So he loses 1 hit point for the first one. Second one, 13 as well. Third one is a 5. That's not a hit, but he is immobilized. So that was the first round. Next up is our ranger. She is going to She is going to move here, and she's going to attack this ghoul, and she gets a +3 because this is an undead monster, and she rolls an 8 plus 9, that's a hit, and he is dead. So she gets the card, and it doesn't activate because she's just killed it. And then she is going to move, so she moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's going to go here, and then, no, she's actually going to, yeah, no, she's going to do this, and then she's going to use a special ability which allows her to explore, and she draws a black. I'm going to draw something from the monster stack, and she's going to, and another black arrow. So let's see what we get. Here we get no monsters, and here we get 2 monsters. And the monsters she draws are a zombie and a gargoyle. Okay, so the gargoyle is an easy one because he's too far away to do anything when he's on this tile, because he's 2 tiles away from the nearest person. The zombie, however, is going to do something, and the zombie is going to move here. So that's that. That was her activation. Next up is the rogue. The rogue is going to attack 1 monster within 1 tile of her, which is here. And it's a ghoul. And that's a 13 plus 7 is a 20, so this ghoul is toast. Then she is going to explore. For 1 movement point, and another tile for 2 movement points in total. And she draws 1 black arrow, so she draws 1 monster. It's tile and it's 2 monsters that she places, and she places a spider. Which I actually love. I mean, I love the spider sculpt. It's actually really beautiful. It gets placed here, and oops, sorry, that was an encounter card, and the wolf. Then she's going to move. So 1, 2, so she spent 2 movement points to explore. Then she's going to move 3, 4. And she is going to no, actually she has already. So she's going to move away, because then they are 2 away from her. So he's going to move adjacent to him, and this one is going to move here 2 tiles. Okay. Good. So that's that. Next up is our Dragonborn fighter. And he is going to he cannot move because he's been immobilized, but that doesn't mean he can't attack, and he is going to attack and he's going to attack the ghoul for 17 plus, so the ghoul's dead. And he also is going to, if you hit choose another monster on your tile and move adjacent to it, he's already adjacent to the wolf, so he's going to give this wolf 1 damage, and the wolf is also destroyed. That's not too bad. So he draws 2 treasure cards. And he gets a Moment's Respite. Place this card face up on top of either the encounter deck or the monster deck. We're gonna put it on the encounter. And Scroll of Teleportation. Choose any number of heroes on your tile and place them on any other tile. And he's now no longer immobilized. And I'm wondering, did we draw... so he killed 2 monsters and we killed 2 each. 1 each. So each one of them should have drawn a treasure. So that would have been the rogue. Yeah, so she's going to play this blessing, which means that you gain a... and the ranger also. So she's got plenty of stuff happening. Yeah. Okay. So now it is Thorgrim. And Thorgrim is going to move 1, 2, 3. And he's going to explore. Yep, no monster. And black arrow, so yes, we're going to draw from the monster stack, and it's 1 monster that we place, and we place a blazing skeleton. And now he's going to attack the spider for... with the healing strike. And for 16, the spider is actually dead. So he draws a treasure card. Until the end of your next hero phase, each hero gains a bonus attack rolls equal to the number of heroes on his other tile. So we have +2 plus this. This is brilliant. So so that was that. And then 1 hero within 1 tile of you regains a hit point. So he's at full health. Arjan isn't. But Arjan can actually heal him. No. Yep, so Arjan regains 1 hit point. Okay. Next up is... well, the blazing skeleton moves. Next up is our ranger. And she's going to... she's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then she is going to... no, 4. Because she doesn't need to be... close to it, so she then spends 2 movement points to explore, and she gets a black arrow, so she draws 1 monster stack, and it's 0 monsters. That's brilliant. So nothing happened. She also doesn't need to draw an encounter card. The zombie is moving here, and then he attacks our for a 1. That's a total miss. Nothing happens. And the gargoyle is too far away to do anything. Next up is our rogue. And the rogue is going to move 1, 2, 3. She's going to attack this for a +3 for 6, 9, and 7 is 16. And the blazing skeleton has 2 hit points, but it does take 1 wound. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's going to move here. She didn't explore, so now we would normally draw an encounter card, but we've got this moment's respite, which we just drew as a treasure card, so we're going to move this away. So now it's our dragonborn fighter. And he is going to choose 1 monster within 1 tile of his hero. And he's going to draw it. No, actually he's going to do this differently. He's going to move here for 1. Then he's going to draw this one next to him. And he's going to attack it for +11 and 12. So this one's toast. He gets a treasure. Play this fortune immediately. Place 1 tile from the top of the dungeon tile stack adjacent to any unexplored edge. Place any new monsters on that tile as normal, but do not draw an encounter card. We will consider this to any unexplored edge. Over here, I'm going to draw something from the 2 monsters. And he draws a skeleton and a rat swarm. Since he did kind of explore, these 2 go away. He doesn't draw an encounter card. The rat swarm moves 1, as does the skeleton. And so we are done. And next up is Thorgrim, who's first going to attack the he rolls a 19. The zombie's gone. He also makes 1 person regain 1 hit point within 1 tile. So she's at full hit points. Arjan could use 1, so Arjan gets 1 hit point back. And then Thorgrim is going to move 1. No, he's not. Is he? 1, 2, 3, 4. He can't explore. So he's just going to stay where he is, and he's going to draw an encounter card. And the encounter card says Frenzy. Each monster you control activates twice during your villain phase. We don't control 1, so nothing happens. That's not too bad. Okay. Goody. So, next up is our ranger. And she's going to move 1, 2, 3. And then she's going to explore down here. And she draws a monster card, a monster stack item, and then a second tile. And there is more monsters there as well. Okay, so let's see. And here we draw 1 monster. And it is a kobold skirmisher. And here it is another monster, just the 1 though, and it is a wolf. So, So she moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she's going to continue her movement. She's going to attack the Kobold Skirmisher. For 14, and that is enough. And she deals 2 damage. Kobold Skirmisher is history. And she draws plus she draws 1 treasure. Play this fortune immediately. You can move your speed or make an attack. She's going to move her speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6. And then the wolf moves, and if the wolf is within 2 tiles of a hero, no. But then he just moves 2 tiles. Okay, so that's that. Next up, it's the rogue. And the rogue is simply going to move 1, and she's going to explore. And here we've got the arcane circle. And 1 more dungeon tile. And as we now have the arcane circle in play over here, we are going to draw the Howling Hag. Well, we're not going to draw her, she's there already. We're going to place her here. And we need a token. So let's see what we've got. Okay. Let's see. There's one called Cavern. Torch, portrait. That's not it. Gravestorm's phylactery, no. Cavern. That's him. So we're going to place it on any of these tiles, on any of the squares in this tile. So now what we need to do is we need to get him and leave the place. However, of course, the Howling Hag, who has basically decided to kidnap him, so she's evil, is going to try and keep us from doing this. We will see how this works out for our heroes. I'm not convinced that it's as easy as it looks. So let's see. Yeah, I'll have to pack these later. Let's take a look at our booklet. Okay, so essentially we now place the Howling Hag here so that we don't forget her. And she's now going to activate. It's now our rogue. She does not control any... She doesn't control any monsters. She doesn't draw an encounter card because she explored. So if the hag is within 1 tile of 2 or more heroes, she attacks each hero. If the hag is on a tile with a hero... Otherwise, the hag moves 1 tile. Okay, so she's not within 1 tile of 2 or more heroes. So she's going to move 1 tile, placing her here. And that's it. So our rogue is going to hit her. And she's going to use Deep Cut. Hit or miss. If the monster is adjacent to another hero, it takes 2 damage. And she's also going to use the sneak attack, which gives her +4 and +4 to hit and +2 damage. +1 damage. That's a 19. Yeah, that's an easy hit. So she does 2 damage to the hag. And the hag has 10 hit points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. So that was our rogue. Okay. And then the rogue keeps moving. So she moved 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so next up is Arjan. And Arjan is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he is going to choose one monster within a tile of him, place that monster adjacent to him, and then he's going to attack it. And he gets +8 for this attack. That's 11, that's not enough. Can he use a card? No, he can't. Okay, so that didn't work. So he draws an encounter card because he didn't explore. Dracula's minions. Place the active hero and the 2 monsters that are closest to that hero on the tile farthest from the active hero. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be here. Zack. And closest to him. That would be closest to him. He was here. That would be this one here. Okay, that's that. That was actually not so bad. Now the Howling Hag. So first of all, the rat swarm is going to attack him now for 18. That's a hit. So he takes 1 damage. Then the skeleton is going to move. And then the Howling Hag is adjacent, so is on a tile with a hero. She attacks that hero with a teleporting curse. Okay. That's 14, that's not a hit. Okay, that's good. So that was Arjan. Next up is the cleric, who is going to do the following things. First, he's going to attack one monster within 1 tile, the skeleton, for a +6. And that's a 14. And the skeleton has 16, so that didn't work out. And then he is going to move. 1, 2. Then he's going to draw an encounter card. Choose the hero with the most hit points remaining. That hero takes 1 damage and is immobilized. Dracula's hunger. Vertigo washes over you as Dracula steps from the shadows. His will overwhelms you and he laughs as he steps back into the darkness. The most hit points. That would be, interestingly enough, that's Cat. So she loses 1 hit point and she's immobilized. So that's our human ranger. No, that's our rogue. She was going to talk to Cavan, but that's not going to happen now. So now it's our ranger.
And our ranger is going to move 1, 2, and she's going to attack the wolf. No, she's actually going to use this attack, which means it's an automatic hit. She gets a treasure. Play this fortune immediately. Put this card face up on a monster card. The next time that monster would activate this card instead. Yeah, we're going to not activate the skeleton. So she draws an encounter card. Mists of Terror. You hear a whispering chant and a white mist flows through the crypts as you breathe in the foul air. Oh, sorry, I forgot to activate our hag. So she's going to activate twice now. She's going to attack our friend for 16, that didn't do anything, and then for 23, that did hit him. So he takes 1 damage, and then he's placed on a random tile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Let's see. 15. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good. Okay. So now we draw the encounter card. Roll a die for each hero. On a 1 to 5, the hero takes 1 damage and is immobilized. Okay. Nope. Nope. Yes. Nope. Yes. Okay. Next up is our rogue, who is no longer immobilized. She's going to stand next to Cavern for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, spend 1 movement to activate him. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Draw an encounter card. Attack each hero on this tile. No, that didn't work, but she takes 1 damage anyway. And now the Howling Hag is... Oh, sorry, the Rat Swarm would have moved as well. And the Howling Hag is now going to do what exactly? Moves 1 tile. Good. Next up is... Oh, I think I'm... No, yeah, that's right. Next up is our Dragonborn, but he can't move. Who holds on to the Gargoyle? That would have been the Ranger. So the Gargoyle would have moved and would have attacked. And would have taken 2 points. Would have taken a bite out of our Dragonborn. Okay, now he's going to do the following. First of all, he's going to regain 2 hit points by using his utility power. He's immobilized, so he can't really do anything, but he can attack. And he's going to attack 1 adjacent monster for a plus 11 to do 2 points of damage. And for 18, that's enough to kill the Gargoyle. The Gargoyle is toast. We draw 1 treasure card. Wand of Teleportation. Choose a tile within 1 tile of you. Place each monster on the chosen tile on a tile within 3 tiles of you. That's handy. So next up is our
The skeleton doesn't move because we've got the fortune. The rat swarm is going to move and attack our ranger for 9 points of damage. That didn't work. For 9, that didn't work. So the hag is now within... She's going to move here. And then we're going to draw an encounter card. Sliding walls. It's a trap. We're going to do what we always do. We try to roll a 10 to disable it. And we don't. The trap during the villain phase. Roll the die for each hero on this tile. We're going to disable this one. So we're going to spend 5 to get rid of this one. Okay, so next up is Thorgrim. He is immobilized. So he can't do anything except attack one monster within 1 tile of us. For a 9, that's not working. He's also going to use healing word to... No, he's not. Yeah. Okay, so that didn't work, so he's going to draw an encounter card. If a start tile is not in play, discard this card. Place each hero 2 tiles closer to the start tile. The hero is then slowed. If he's on the same tile as a monster, which is only the case for Arjan. Okay. So next up is Alyssa, the human ranger. She is going to move 1, 2, and she's going to attack. No, now the hag is moving. And the rat swarm is moving as well, and the rat swarm is attacking for, yeah, that's a hit. So Alyssa takes 1 wound. Alyssa is now going to attack 1 adjacent monster. And she does 7, she does 2 points of damage to the hag. And then she is going to move. 1, 2, 3. And she's going to draw an encounter card. Attack each hero on the active hero's tile. That's a hit. She is slowed. And she also places a new monster on this tile. And it is a wraith. I don't like them. They are annoying because they also do damage when they die. And the wraith is going to not attack her because that's the encounter phase. That's not going to happen until next time. The rogue is going to move back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then she's going to get this guy to follow her. 5, 6, 7 because she has the boots of striding. And then she is going to... And that's all she's going to do. Sneak attack is now over. And she's going to draw an encounter card. Each monster you control activates twice during the villain phase. She doesn't do any, so that doesn't matter. And the hag is going to attack our dwarf with a curse. And she does hit him. So he takes 1 damage. And he's placed in on a random tile. That's an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he stays where he is. Okay. So now it's our Dragonborn. His speed is 2, which is just enough, 1, 2, to get within 1 tile of her. He's going to draw her to him, and he's going to attack her for 11, which is not enough. Tja. Well, so now the skeleton moves and attacks, and it hits for 2 points of damage. Well, actually, for 3 points of damage, because it rolled a natural 20. He's no longer slowed. The rat swarm is going to attack him, and that failed. And he's now going to draw an encounter card, and it's a King Tomeskel's portal. You fall through a mysterious portal, reappearing elsewhere in the crypts covered with wounds. Attack the active hero 3 times. No, we're going to cancel this one, sorry. I'm not having that. Okay. Now it's Thorgrim. And Thorgrim is going to move 1, 2, and he's going to attack the hag for 11, 12. That wasn't good enough, was it? No. Yeah. Okay, so he's going to draw an encounter card. Cackling skull. Crystal skull floats one out of the darkness. Its maddening laughter makes it difficult to focus. Whenever a hero uses a daily power or utility power, that hero takes 1 damage. Okay. Okay, now the hag is going to do something. I think she should have activated the other way. It doesn't matter, so let's attack Arjan for 18. And that is a hit. So he loses 1. And he gets transported. Let's roll a die, and it's a 2. It's a 1, 2. Okay. Next up is Alyssa. Alyssa is going to move 1, 2, 1. Whoops. No, Alyssa is the ranger. Sorry, I keep mixing these up. She's going to use that hero takes 1 damage. Yeah, she's going to take 1 damage because she's slowed. She's going to place her hero on a tile within 1 tile of her and attack 1 adjacent monster for a natural 20. So this is very important because she normally does 3 points of damage. On a natural 20, she does 4 points of damage. So the hag is now down to 2 points of damage, and she can level up because we have 5 experience points worth of monsters. She already is on level 2, but she can now go to level 3 because we're playing the campaign game. That's super. So that's Alyssa, level 3. And she can either gain 1 hit point, 1 armor class, or 1 speed. Her armor class is 16. Okay, what I'm going to do is, now this is really exciting, and this is where this game comes into its own. I'm actually going to choose one armor class, so she has +1 armor class. So her hit points are 10, her armor class is 17, her speed is 6, her attack is, well, that depends, but her surge value is 5. Now that's cool. Okay. And she's no longer slowed, but she has to draw a encounter card, which we now can't cancel. It's a trap. She can try and disable it. And she doesn't. Ah! So she takes 3 damage, which isn't too bad. She takes 3 damage and he takes 3 points of damage. Okay. Next up is the Howling Hag. She's going to attack him or her. Him on an odd and her on an even. So she attacks Cat, whose AC is now 17. It's a natural 20, so, Alyssa takes 2 points of damage, because it's a natural 20, and she gets teleported. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Lip. She has the Wraith, which is going to move here, and it's going to attack for a natural 20. It's not so good. So he takes 3 points of damage. So he's down. Next up is Cat, our rogue. She's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she's now on the staircase with him, and she's going to attack the rat swarm. For 12 points, and that's just enough to kill it. Now the hag is going to move to the closest hero and not do anything. Well, the closest hero is actually her, because she has escaped. Next up is Arjan, and Arjan is just going to leg it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 5 speed. That's all he can do. Encounter card. Ghost of Prince Aurel. A ghost materializes in the corridor ahead. Its horrid features freeze you in terror. Flip over 1 unused daily power or utility power. If you don't have an unused power to flip, take 1 damage instead. Yeah, he's going to flip and Dragon's Breath. It's not too bad. The hag is going to move and attack. That's not a hit. The skeleton is going to move. That's all it can do. Thorgrim is going to use a healing surge to regain his value. And then he's also going to use Healing Word for 4 points of damage. For 3 points of damage, because he loses 1 because he just used a daily power. So that's the first thing he's going to do. And then he's going to attack the Wraith. Oh, he's going to attack with a Lance of Faith.
That's enough to kill the skeleton. And he gains a treasure. Burst of speed. Your hero can move his or her speed. Well, he's going to move his or her speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the hag is going to activate. And she isn't for 2, nothing happens. Now it's Alyssa. And Alyssa is going to attack one adjacent monster. Is she undead? No, she isn't. So she gets +7 on a 2. So she's now going to use this to re-roll the die. Now that's what I'm talking about. And the hag is toast. We draw a treasure card. Play this blessing immediately. Until the end of your next hero phase, each hero gains a bonus to attack rolls equal to the number of monsters on his or her tile. Very nice. The Wraith is going to attack. That's a hit, so he takes 3 points of damage. And Spiderwebs attack the active hero. No. But she is slowed. And now she's going to move her speed 1. So she's going to move 2 because she's been slowed. And she's going to, yeah, so that's it. No, she actually can't move. So, okay. Now, we've got the rogue, but the rogue's gone. Arjan is going to move 2, 3, and he's going to attack. Yeah, so 2 points of damage. Okay, and then he's going to keep moving 1, 2, 3. And he's going to draw an encounter card. Each hero takes damage equal to the number of monsters he or she controls. Who controls the... That's Alyssa. She takes 1 point of damage. Next up is Thorgrim. He's going to attack the thing for killing it. That's enough. Whoops. He takes 1 damage. But he's also going to heal 1 damage because of his ability, so nothing happens there. And then he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to draw an encounter card. Oh, he gets a treasure. Dragon's Breath Elixir. Encounter card. Choose 1 monster on any hero's tile. That monster immediately activates. We don't have any monsters. What a pity. Next up is, because the Wraith just died. Next up is the Ranger. She's slowed, so she moves 2. One, 2. And she draws an encounter card. If a star tile isn't blah, Draw a tile from the bottom of the dungeon tile stack and place it adjacent to the unexplored edge that is closest to the start tile. The unexplored edge closest. Well. That would be this one. We're going to place a monster. And it is a kobold skirmisher. The rogue is gone. Arjan is going to leg it, as we said. 1, 2, 3, 4. So no encounter card because he's gone. Thorgrim's going to move. 1, 2, gone. No encounter. And now we've got our ranger, and she's no longer slowed. She is going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost made it. She activates the Kobold Skirmisher and she draws an encounter card. Alarm! Trigger the trap during your villain phase. Place a new monster on the unexplored. Okay, she's going to try and disable this. If not, she's going to draw a monster. That didn't work, so she's going to draw a monster. It's a spider. And it's going to immediately attack her. And that's a 15 that didn't hit. So she's now going to hit back because she's the only one left. And she's going to attack one adjacent monster. +7. And that's a miss. And she's going to move. And we have 1. So we have killed, because now we can look at... first of all, we've managed to get out and to get the heir, the lady's nephew. We've killed the Howling Hag, and so whenever I say we kill a villain, although we don't really, it doesn't really say if you get any experience points, I just decide that it gives you 5 experience points. We have left, because we didn't trade them, 8, 10, 11, 13, and 1 from the last one. So we have 13. We have 14 XP in total. And we have +2 gold coins from the lady because we rescued, well, let's see. Let's just check how many monsters we killed. We drew 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 14, and 2 are still on the board, which means we drew 12. Now we have to roll 12 times to see how much gold we get. Let's see. So, that's 2 gold. That's 2. That's 1. That's 1. That's 2 gold. That's 1 gold.